The biggest thing I saw was, regardless of the numbers that Jalen Hurts puts up, you're going to be in every game and you're going to win with Jalen Hurts. The stat line might not be up there where everybody, saying, oh, he's the next Tom Brady, or, if he's even a Dak Prescott. But wins are going to be what you get with Jalen Hurts.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for hanging with us on Monday. Hope you had a great weekend, along with Barrett Brooks, D-Gun, Rob Ellis, Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network, coming up at 1 o'clock. Dick Vermeil, he has the gold jacket. He is a Hall of Famer. John McMullen at 2. Tomorrow, guys, Sal Paolantonio. Can't wait to talk to Sal Pal. Sal Pal is a part of the team now, the JAKIB Sports team. So we're excited about that. We will talk to him about that as well. Adam Kaplan, who does a phenomenal job covering the NFL, will be joining us on Wednesday. We don't play, man. This is, you know what, preseason, we're always in regular season form, okay? That's the way we roll. Yes, and we're going to get our mute buttons turned off, Barrett and Derek, and make sure we're talking. Hit them.
We got it, big. Got you.
There you go.
Yep.
But we're rolling, man. We're rolling. All right, so Barrett, let's set the scene here. You're there last night at the link, again, about 30,000 people there, which tells you how football hungry we are and crazed in this town.
To put it in perspective, it was right around 30,000 people that were at the Phillies game. And it was almost the exact same amount that was at the Eagles practice.
That's amazing.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it worked out perfectly, because a lot of people from the stadium, the baseball stadium, just walked right over and went to for $10 a ticket.
Yeah, it's a sweet little double dip, man.
Yeah. You got it all. You got it all.
Love that. All right, so let's go positive first, Barrett. What stood out to you from a positive standpoint that you saw last night? Could be anything. Take your pick.
The biggest thing I saw was, regardless of the numbers that Jalen Hurts puts up, you're going to be in every game and you're going to win with Jalen Hurts. The stat line might not be up there where everybody, saying, oh, he's the next Tom Brady, or, if he's even a Dak Prescott. But wins are going to be what you get with Jalen Hurts. And that should be the ultimate as far as numbers that you should worry about. That win column. Individual accolades, I think, will be out the door when it comes to a guy like Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
So in looking at that, I'm very positive on him going forward. Now, it brings me to say, all right, is he going to be worth $40 million? And that's the question that Howie Roseman and his agent have to talk about. He might not be a $40 million quarterback, but he's a winning quarterback. I know that's what you're supposed to be making if you're a starter, but his numbers might say that he should be getting $40 million. But maybe they work out a happy medium. Maybe he gets like 32, 33. I don't want to take any money out of anybody's pocket.
No,
but there's got to be some reasoning behind how they're going to do this contract and how they're going to go forward with it. Because I'm telling you right now, Jalen Hurts is going to produce.
All right. Well, so Barrett, how do you define that? Like, put money aside for a minute. How deep can he take him in the playoffs? Can this guy win a Super Bowl with what you're saying?
He absolutely can. He absolutely can. See, everybody thinks you need to be a gunslinger.
Right.
No.
Right.
I mean, Big Ben won his first Super Bowl in spite of Big Ben. He was just Ben Roethlisberger then. But they were able to formulate a game plan that emphasized his talent, but also the people around him put him in a great position to win. So, I mean, that's what you need. You need to have that ability to play to a player's strengths, number one. So Shane Steichen, he's got a lot to do. But you also have to maintain a healthy mixture around him, like special teams, maybe a guy like Covey making the squad because of his unique ability to return kicks. And also a defense in which Gannon has to go out there and control things. He has to be aggressive. What I saw yesterday is him being aggressive. His play calling was aggressive. The guys played aggressive. So they're still ahead of the offense, but that's only because they've seen this offense all camp, all mini camps. They've seen it, so they can kind of predict what's going on before it happens. You'll see a substantial difference than what you see now, and what you see against Cleveland and Miami when they go out there and practice against them.
Was Phil Simms a great quarterback? No.
Nope.
But he was a great manager of a game.
Hostetler?
Nope. Quarterback who won the Super Bowl with one of the most dominant defenses in history of pro football for the Ravens.
Oh yeah. What is his name?
Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer. Yep.
Was he a great quarterback?
Nope. Brad Johnson.
Won a ring. They won rings. You put the right people around a quarterback who can manage a game and not cost you a game. You don't have to be great. Unfortunately, we measure a quarterback's greatness by the numbers that he can put up individually, but you measure it by the success the team has overall. And we've just talked. We've only scratched the surface of several good managing quarterbacks who knew how to take care of the football and put his team in position to win, and let the other pieces around him, dominant defenses, running game, offensive line, take care of the heavy stuff. Okay? So if what Barrett is saying is true, I don't care if Jalen Hurts doesn't have the strongest arm in the league. I don't care if he throws for 400 yards a game. The bottom line is, how many times did he turn the ball over? How many times did he put the ball in the end zone? How many times did he put his team in a position to win a game? To me, that's all people care about. If you get this team, if a Jalen Hurts gets this team to a Super Bowl, everybody will shut up about Jalen Hurts' so-called deficiencies, Jalen Hurts' inability to elevate his game, so on and so forth. But on the other side of that, Barrett, if he is just a manager of a game, and this team, let's say this team gets to the first round of the playoff and bows out again. And if you look at his overall numbers in quarterback play, and he's just a manager of a game, let's say 17 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. What do you do as an organization after this season? That's a tough pickle to be in, because you have 2 first-round picks. You have supposedly a deep quarterback class coming out in 2023. Jalen Hurts didn't kill you in 2022, but let's say he improved just a little bit, not a lot. What are you going to do? That's a tough situation for this organization to be in.
It absolutely is, because you talk about everybody's got deals. Look at Murray. Murray got deals. He got a deal. What was it? $150 million guaranteed, right around there. You've got
$240 million deal. Crazy.
$240 million, like $160 million guaranteed. Mm-hmm. Then you got to look at the Ravens. Everything's going to be predicated on what the Ravens do. Ravens going to have to pay their quarterback a lot of money. Where does Jalen Hurts fit in between those 2 quarterbacks? You know what I mean? That's where he is. I mean, is he better than Murray? Is he skilled enough to take his team to the next level? Can he make the players around him better? I know the players love playing around him, so in that capacity, he's already crossed the check mark that they love him as a leader. Check mark, cross right there. He has the ability to be a multi-dimensional type of player. You have to respect his running just as well as you have to respect his passing. Check both of those boxes. Now it comes to him settling down and running this offense. Can he do it? Can he keep the defense off the field long enough so they can get a break? Can he keep the chains moving? When things break down, we know he can make plays. But what if they sit back? We're going to play coverage. We don't care about the run. We don't want big plays from A.J. Brown or Smitty. What do you do then? Can he throw the ball well enough to hit Goddard, to hit A.J.? Yeah. To hit Devontae?
Well, I think you guys make fascinating points. I guess I'll play devil's advocate for a minute, and I'll start with this. The Eagles, we know, would like to be a throwing team. With Jalen, if he's game managing to an extent, which I don't find to be a dirty word, I just to play off of what you were saying, it's probably going to be more of a conservative approach, right? Number one. And number two, what happens in a game where the running game's taken away? It's a Tampa Bay.
Wait, Rob, when you say conservative approach, what do you mean?
More running than they would probably like to.
See, I honestly believe they're going to try to force feed Jalen again in terms of trying to get him to air the football out.
Is that putting him in the best position to succeed?
We're going to find out. See, that's because we've heard all these stories. And I didn't mean to cut you off, but we heard all these stories all off season about Jalen has spent all this time with this quarterback guru on the West Coast. Mm-hmm. And we've heard the coaches talk during the offseason. We like what Jalen's progress is. Okay, but what does that mean?
Right.
That's what is that supposed to mean? Did you expect a little progress? Did you expect what did you expect? Does it mean you're going to go back to what you tried initially at the beginning of last season? Or are we going to have more of the same, like you're talking about, running the football more than passing football, or running the football equally as much as throwing the football?
Yeah.
That balance.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So when you say that, that's why I stopped you, because I've heard the word before, conservative approach. Well, if we go conservative approach, does that mean Jalen's gotten that much better?
Right. Yeah. That, like, in other words, there should be development in the pass game where you don't have to look. I'm for however you win, you win. Like, I don't care. Like, if your team can't stop the run it 50 times for all I care. I don't care when. But I think that there's going to be teams like the blueprint is let's get in the box, let's stuff the run, let's make them beat us through the air.
Right.
And I don't know if he was capable of doing that against really good teams last year. I hope he's capable of doing that this year against the better teams, not just the also rans that they beat up on last year. And that's my only point is I hope that he's taking that next step from where he was, because there are going to be games where he's going to have to throw them to a victory. And we didn't really see it. Like, do you guys remember a game where he really threw them to a victory? Again, I don't care how you win, but I'm just trying to think of an example.
You know what? He almost did against San Fran.
He said he almost did. But see, I will add this, Barrett. You said he almost did, but did San Francisco call off the dogs? You know how teams call off the dogs and let teams get back in game?
Right. There's the natural letdown. There's a natural letdown.
How many times did we see that last year when the Chargers, Tampa Bay, teams let them back in the game because they called off the dogs?
Right. And well, Xander's right about this too. First half versus Broncos, he threw very well. Yes, he did throw very well.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
He also threw well against the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? And when he was the only offense that they had.
Yeah,
but
I mean, they were getting their ass kicked in that game. I mean,
right.
You know, but that's again, I'm not sitting here saying he can't. I'm not in a can't category at all with him.
I'm not either.
I'm in I want to see it. I didn't see it last year necessarily, and he just has to be better. He has to be better in the pass game. Look, we could go through all of it that we always talk about. He's got to be better in the pocket, progressions, and all that. I just want to see it with him. And look, he made a couple throws last night, and I know what it is. I know it's practice and all that, but that were encouraging, and he's got better guys who are going to make plays for him too. I mean, A.J. Brown made a play last night that only Devontae Smith could make last year in the receiving game.
No question.
That touchdown.
No question. Yeah, and we can talk about that too. That's, to me, I just felt like that's Jalen Hurts having confidence in his friend, having confidence that he can make that play. He didn't have that confidence with Jalen Reagor. He didn't have that confidence with guys last year that they can go out and make that play. I mean, even Smitty's, so far as say Smitty, because Smitty's a great route runner. Smitty's going to be open because he runs great routes. He's not necessarily go out there and Debo passes from two DBs like, AJ did yesterday. The fact that he went up and challenged him. And that's how he's going to be comfortable with AJ, because he knows that he's always got a shot. Even though the pass might not be perfect, he can still get the ball to AJ, and his hands are strong enough, his arms long enough, and his body's thick enough that he can fend off defenders. He can take it from defenders. He can Debo guys. And that gives you a huge catch radius when you're thinking about a receiver like A.J. Brown. Not necessarily how wide his arm strength is or anything. I mean, his width is or how tall he is or anything like that. But more so the comfort of knowing that he can out-muscle guys to get the ball. He gives a much more forgiving catch radius. That's what I should say. A forgiving catch radius as opposed to a huge catch radius. He has a more forgiving catch radius because if you do throw it somewhere, he can still go get it and not be deterred by somebody hanging on him or somebody, defending the pass, he can trust that AJ is going to muscle the ball or deal the ball from the DB.
Last year, Jalen Hurts had 2 games where he threw for over 300 yards in back-to-back weeks against Kansas City and Dallas. Both of those games were blowouts, and Kansas City and Dallas won those games. He had 9 games where he threw for less than 200 yards, obviously because the running game was so dominant. The last time Jalen Hurts threw for over 300 yards was week 4 against Kansas City. After that, it was 198, 115, 236, 103. Are we going to see more of that from Jalen Hurts? Rob has said it many a times. I've looked at other media people posting that they expect the Eagles to throw the ball a lot more this year. You didn't bring in $100 million receiver to have him be a decoy.
Right.
Okay. Devontae Smith proved in his rookie campaign that he is an accomplished route runner. Year 2 of Quez Watkins should be a lot better than it was just a season ago.
Yep.
But, and it's the $1 million question we've talked about since the inception of this show on April 18th, as well as so many other people. It has been the great debate when you talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, not just from a local standpoint, but from a national standpoint as well. What is Jalen Hurts to this team in 2022? That is the great mystery. Will we be pleasantly surprised, or will it be gut-wrenching, or will it be somewhere in the middle in terms of what we see? I know exactly what the Eagles want because it will help them make decisions a lot quicker and a lot sooner and feel comfortable about looking beyond this season into next season. But like Rob said, and everybody else is saying, I got to see it. We got to see it.
Yeah.
Not just 1 week, consistently.
Right. And that's the thing. In this league, guys, that teams are going to take stuff away. You need to be able to win games in a multitude of ways. Sometimes it's going to be a run game. Sometimes your defense is going to carry. It's just that kind of game. They're going to have to create some turnovers or whatever. And that's the other thing that I don't think that Jalen was aided by last year was a defense that took the ball away a ton and gave him short fields in his defense. So, look again. All right. So let me look at that Shizzo flex again one more time. Let me read that. This isn't the old NFL. If you don't have that guy at QB, you won't win. Chiefs are a perfect example. Them weapons been there on. Alex Smith was limited. Okay. So basically, until they got Mahomes, they weren't able to win in that way. Alex Smith was a fine game manager, but they didn't ultimately win it. And look, there's the Alex Smith argument, the Ryan Tannehill argument that you can be a good playoff team, but maybe not to win the whole thing with those guys. And I think This is what Jalen has to show us, that he can rise above, that he's not just those guys. And I think that's kind of where we're at as we go into this thing. It's a show and tell, right?
Well, AJ Brown's going to make him better.
Right.
AJ's going to make him better. The run game's going to make him better. That offensive line is going to make him better. He'll be able to flourish, man. He has so many things to help him out. This young quarterback has so many things to help him out. He has a coaching staff that wants to make sure that he's successful. They want him to be good. This offensive line takes pride in being one of the number 1 lines in the league.
Sure.
So, things are just falling into place.
Makes sense.
It just so happened it got accelerated when AJ Brown was acquired. Everything got accelerated.
All right. So Jalen looked good in your estimation last night. Anybody else stand out, Barrett? Anybody else?
Of course.
Jordan Davis. Who else? Anybody else?
Jordan Davis. I tell you what, the defensive line as a whole looked absolutely amazing. Now, it was a makeshift starting O-line, that they had there. I mean, you didn't have your starting left tackle. Everybody else was there. But, running the ball once again, the offensive line took control of the defensive line. But then on pass plays, you see the multiple fronts that Gannon had out there. Like, he had 2 linebackers on. He had Hassan Reddick and I think it's Patrick Johnson on one side. And they were rushing from one side. He had Fletcher Cox and somebody else on the other side. Little things like that. I think it was Sweat. They applied some pressure on Hurts. Hurts showed the ability to get away from that pressure, and we know that he can do that. But I mean, it's the multiple fronts that the defense had really were. They shined yesterday. The DBs shined yesterday. Bradbury is just as good as Big Play Slay. He showed it.
And he's getting great reviews so far, Bradbury.
No question. No question. Epps played phenomenal. And like I said before, Epps will be that deep safety. The guy that can run from sideline to sideline, have a lot of range, played well yesterday. But Harris is inside the box, and he looked comfortable inside the box. It looked like he belonged there. He's up there, sticking his face in there. Now, they didn't tackle, so I don't know how well his tackling is going to be. It's one thing, run up to somebody, act like you're going to hit him, like, I got you, rather than,
really
having somebody run straight through your chest, you know what I'm saying, and keep going. We'll see. We didn't see any of that. There was a lot of plays the linebackers looked like, just the defense period, looked like they might have made that play. But I still don't know if they can tackle. They don't know if they can tackle yet. But they were in position. They were definitely in position.
I got to ask you, a couple of receivers. Deion Kane apparently has looked really good throughout camp.
Yes, he has.
At one point, I think it was Friday. Maybe it was Friday or Saturday. Britton Covey was running with the ones and Rager was running with the twos. Has he impressed that? Because Sirianni's gushing over him every chance he gets. What's going on?
Because he's doing what he needs to do to work on his craft. You could tell that he understands that he needs to do above and beyond what other players are doing. Like little things, like they were running, not even one-on-one. They were just going through work, beginning doing, individuals. And they were out running routes for the quarterbacks. And they were running deep outs. And on the deep out, usually guys would catch the out and then run out of bounds. Covey, he went out there. He didn't run out of bounds. He got it, turned to the sideline, and then turned it up to go finish the route out, finish the play out. Those little things that I saw him doing that I didn't see other guys doing that should be doing it. I can see if you're A.J. Brown, you catching out and you kind of, jog out of bounds or kind of stumble out of bounds. He finished the route. He would catch on the sideline, bring it in, and still had the wherewithal to turn it up the field, stay in bounds, and keep going for more yardage. That's how you condition yourself to do the little things. They'll become instant. It'll be an instant reaction when you're in a game. You'll have the opportunity to do it because you trained your body to do it. You trained your body to see where the sideline is, stop, and go make a play. A lot of these guys aren't doing the necessary little things that equal bigger things later on. You condition yourself now to do it in games because then it becomes second nature to you. You don't have to tell yourself to do it.
Well, in a lot of cases, also Sirianni said last week, don't read too much into who's with the ones and the twos. People were shocked when Miles Sanders was running with the twos last week. Basically, what he wants to do, he wants to find out what guys can play with a better competition. Obviously, a lot of decisions to be made in that regard.
No doubt. All right, we're going to step aside because we have a Hall of Famer coming up next. You don't get a chance to say that too often, but yes, Dick Vermeil himself coming up when we get back. Hey, by the way, we appreciate everybody who's viewing, who's streaming, who's listening, everybody in the chat room. Let's destroy the like button during this. Let's see if we can get 50 at least just between now when we hit the break and when we get back. Let's see if we can do that. All right. So let's get moving on the like button. We come back. Dick Vermeil, Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis. We're Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Let's talk Pro Action Restoration. They are unbelievable. If you have a home, you have a business, you have a property, and you've experienced water, fire, smoke, mold damage, whatever the case may be, they're the people that you want to call to get it fixed and get it done right. They're on call 24 hours, 7 days a week to assist. I've gone through it. I reached out on a Saturday. They were there quickly like that, cleaned it up, reasonable price. I was thrilled. All right. And they're licensed, bonded, fully insured. They've been serving the tri-state area for more than 2 decades. Pro Action will work in conjunction with your insurance company. Again, could be water, could be fire, could be smoke damage, mold remediation, you name it. They can handle it. Give them a call, 610-623-3760, 610-623-3760, or you can reach them online for a consultation, proactionrestoration.com. That's proactionrestoration.com.